Let's talk about holiday anxiety, depression, and stress. Come on in, welcome to my home. I'm going to tell you from the beginning of this video that this is not the video I intended to make. Not even close. But part of why this isn't the video I intended to make is part of the reason I'm making this video. Let's go back to the beginning. At the beginning of last week, I got a text and an email and another text from the company that makes my dog's dog food, and they said that they were going out of business effective at the beginning of the following week, which would actually be this week, and that we needed to order if we wanted anything right away. And I'm like, well, that's bad because my dog loves this dog food. She thinks it's great. So Taylor Pets went out of business, and I'm scrambling because the one thing I liked about them was the fact that they hadn't had any dog food recalls. She loved the food. Everything was good. So I went ahead, put an order in for some foods, got some treats for her. All was great. And I'm like, okay, this is bad, but we'll figure something out, I guess. Then we started with the text on Tuesday of the weather that was coming. Now, granted, we weren't going to get the big snowstorm that we knew that upstate New York and those places were going to get, but they had called for really, really cold temperatures. In one day, I got 4 texts to tell me about the extreme cold that was coming. Okay, that's bad. I knew that the video that I wanted to make this week was going to be the video where I would show you how to make the cornstarch ornaments. I tested it out before, you'd seen that. I ordered some new cookie cutters to make them out of. Then Mom reminded me that we had an appointment. Well, she had an appointment on Friday that was at 7:05 in the morning. It took like an hour and a half to get up to her appointment. No, I'm sorry, it was at 9:05 in the morning. It took an hour and a half to get up to her appointment. And so I was going to have to drive her up there. And of course, she was worried about rush hour, running into rush hour traffic. We got to Wednesday, and I released the video, and the video did not do as well as I had hoped it would do. That was a problem. That was a big problem. I'm like, well, if that video doesn't do as well, then probably the rest of my videos aren't going to do as well. So this could be bad. I mean, this could be really bad. What am I going to do? Then I get the text from Amazon saying that my order would ship soon. I'm like, wait. I ordered it last week, the cookie cutters. They should be here by now, and now you're saying it's going to ship soon. What exactly does that mean? It will ship soon. This isn't good because I needed time to work with that. That's not great. Then Mom started asking me about, she felt guilty about me having to take her up to her appointment. She kept asking repeatedly. But then it became more of she felt guilty about it, and I tried to tell her that she shouldn't feel guilty, but she still felt really guilty, and she really shouldn't. Then, of course, people started asking about Christmas presents, giving you their list, giving me their list, wanting me to give them my list of what I wanted. And it became a question of, well, that video didn't do well. Am I even going to have enough money for Christmas gifts? This is really getting really bad. And then the next thing was people were like, hey, we're thinking about having a big Christmas party, and do you want to, and we're going to invite these people to it. That's going to be a whole lot of fun, and we're thinking about going out to this place. And I'm like, going out? I mean, if you know anything about me, you know that going out is not one of my favorite things to do at all. Don't really like it at all. Then I started watching videos about how other people decorated their Christmas trees, or Christmases and their Christmas trees and all that stuff, and I see these people with these really, really elaborate Christmas decorations, and I'm like, look at mine. Mine look terrible compared to that. This is really getting awful. And then I'm going to have to go out. Maybe I'll even have to have people for Christmas, for some sort of get together. I won't have Christmas gifts for them. This is really, really getting bad. So the book that I was reading was a book that had lots of death, destruction, all the characters were dying or were going to die and the world was going to blow up. Then I kept getting news about Twitter. Twitter was dying, and by now Twitter could be dead for all I know. Then I noticed my plants. My plants, some of them had spider mites on them. The tomato, the parsley, you know, it's just like there's only so much you can take before you absolutely crack. And I was almost there till we left for the trip to take my mom up to the eye doctor. As I told Mom about the eye doctor, I'm like, hey, I can sit in the car, because I really didn't want to go into the eye doctor and sit there with a mask on in the doctor's office and read a book. I had a different book. I had a book that was about a happy Christmas event. Okay, that's fine. Happy Christmas event is no problem. Okay. Sat in the book. I sat in the car. It started to snow. That was okay, whatever. And I'm like, well, this is cool. I can deal with it starting to snow. The trip up there wasn't bad at all. The trip back wasn't bad at all. In fact, on the way back, we talked about the fact that we can try this Blue Label, I think it's called, or Blue Land food that is supposed to be really premium for dogs, and she probably will like it. Okay, that's really something. I mean, that's actually pretty good. So when I got back, then Sunday rolled around. On Sunday morning, I woke up and my phone was dead. As in, like, absolutely dead. Would not come on, would not do anything. It was fine. Saturday night, but Sunday morning, nothing. Nothing at all. So I got onto my computer and I tried logging on to T-Mobile, and they're like, well, to do that, you need to do this security thing where we'll send you a number so that way, you know, you can make sure that it's you, and we'll send it to your phone. And I'm like, wait, you can't send it to my phone. My phone's dead. Now, lucky for me, Mom's phone is tied. We're all on the same bill, so that's cool. But it was 6 in the morning. Mom wasn't going to be up for several hours, and I knew she needed the sleep because, to add into that, since she's had her teeth done, she's been more on a soft foods diet. I'm worrying about her losing weight and that sort of thing. And I'm like, well, and like my phone controls everything. Like, we have lights in the house, we have the heat, I need to check my social media so I can respond to things. I could check it on my computer, but I mean, there were so many problems, and it was just bad. I mean, we're talking about bad. I watched the snowstorms up in upstate New York and upstate, like I think they hit Cleveland, and they were coming off the lake, and people were getting 48 inches, 50 inches, 60 inches, 72 inches of snow, and I'm like, this is really, really bad. What if it comes here? What if we get that much snow? Will we have enough food? What if the power goes out? Because if the power goes out, my mom, who's been losing weight because her teeth are there, she could, like, you know, get really sick, you know, and people are wanting to have parties and those sort of things. And I'm like, no, this is so stressful. This is so bad. First thing first. Okay. I got a message during all this whole phone debacle that said that my cookie cutters would be delivered on Sunday. Okay, one minor thing out of the way, but there were so many other things. The trip to get Mom's eye worked on wasn't a problem. Like, wasn't a problem at all. I told her that. So with the phone dead, wait, once I tried getting a hold of T-Mobile, which was Sprint, but is now T-Mobile. But anyway, I tried getting a hold of them, and they were still like, nope, you can't do anything. Do you want to upgrade the phone? And I'm like, what do you mean upgrade the phone? And I'm like, okay, can I upgrade the phone? And they're like, yeah. So I went in to upgrade the phone. Upgrading the phone went semi-smooth. The people in T-Mobile were really nice, really understanding, really great. So I got the new phone. And they're like, oh yeah, that's really cool. It's a Pixel 7. You'll enjoy this. Oh, wait. You were paying a lot for your last plan. Let's see what we can do for you. So they did a few things, and then they were like, well, yeah, we can get you a new plan, which will be $10 cheaper a month. Oh. Okay, it'll be $10 cheaper a month. Wow. Well, that's good. Wow. So I went home and I'm like, hey, we're going to get this plan. It'll be $10 cheaper a month. But of course I had to get a hold of all of the people because we couldn't get access to the SIM card, which was on the phone. So, that was a whole issue. So I had to start uploading things, and that took a long time. But in that process, I talked to my best friend who was like, hey, how's it going? What are you doing? And he's like, it's going to be all right. Everything what you're going through is just a temporary thing. I'm like, yeah, it really is sort of temporary. Yeah, no, these things really are temporary. And as I'm doing this, all of a sudden my phone bings, and the cookie cutters for the snowflakes came in. Okay, I can deal with that. That's good. But it still was like, there's just so much. And I'm like, you know what I should do? I'm just going to sit here, put on some music, and read my book, and that'll be nice. Because it got cold and everything. They were talking about it was going to get down to 18. Wait, we lived through the whole winter when it went down to -30 and it had high winds? Wait, -30, and I was worried about 18 degrees. Can you believe that? I was worried about it being too cold, and it was only going to be 18 degrees as the low, not as the high, as the low. So then I started looking at my plants on Sunday. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be sort of sad if the parsley and the tomato, oh wait, the sweet potato, the one doesn't have any, it looks like it's fine. Well, that's good. I sprayed them and everything and put insecticide on them. I took care of the problem because even though things were bad, I didn't realize that I was still moving forward. Because I know I needed to move forward. I knew it had to go on. And I'm like, well, that's really good. The sweet potato is going to be okay. So I lose the tomato, which was a clipping from the cherry tomatoes that were outside. It was just an experiment. Okay. The parsley, I can get parsley anywhere. Let's face it, the parsley, I can get that stuff. I have seeds for the parsley. I can start the parsley again. We're actually fine. And after a few hours, I got all the things back up on my phone that I needed to get back up on my phone. And it was okay. Things turned out to be okay. And I'm like, how is it that I went from this whole horrible thing to things turning out to be okay? Was I doing something right? It didn't crash and burn like I thought it would. The whole week didn't. Did I do something which made sense? So I looked it up. Let's face it, we're in the age where looking things up is actually pretty easy. So I'm going to link what I was looking at down in the description. But the whole big thing came into it where it's like, one of the things which I did do and I didn't even realize that I was doing was I wasn't sitting back and saying, hey, this is horrible, this is terrible, just move on past it, just ignore it, just pretend like you are not stressing out about these things. No, I was acknowledging that I was having stress, I was having anxiety. It's okay. It is okay. And then the other thing I realized is just like, well, yeah, a lot of these people who have these really gorgeous Christmas decorations and Christmas setups, they have spent a ton of money, but why am I comparing myself to them? I did not want that this year. I wanted something simple, something pretty, something that was just me. And what I got was something that was just me, and that was okay. And the one video that didn't do all that well, okay, so it didn't do all that well. Does that mean that it's the end of everything? No. No. Might I have to put on a tighter budget for my Christmas present getting? Well, no, because the money that I needed for Christmas presents, I already have. The money that was going to come from that video wasn't even going to show up until next month or later because of all of those things. So, no, that didn't do anything. But it took me a moment to take a breath and go, hey, this is bad, but it's okay. You're going to be just fine. Talking to my best friend helped me to realize that, hey, you know, if I needed anything, I have a best friend. And even he said, hey, if you don't want to go to any of these Christmas events, you don't have to. We can do something else. I'm like, okay. I don't have to. I can say no to any event that I don't feel comfortable going to. That's okay. I mean, there were so many things. I was looking at these lists and I was just doing them automatically, but it was okay in the moment to have that whole horrible, this is going to be bad, stop, look at it, take a breath, and be like, no, this isn't going to be bad. I have experienced some of these things before. I got to talk to Mom about the dog food. I got to figure out things because it didn't, there wasn't like really bad things. And then something which I didn't even think about was the fact that, did you know that, you know, I have a meal plan. Every week I know what I'm going to eat because right now we're using e-meals. And so that was something I didn't even realize. I had planned ahead. These videos are planned out ahead. So having a plan, I was like, wow, wait, I had a plan. I'm doing the things that I needed to do to get through this one stressful week. And that comes down to your holiday time, your holiday is like, it's one stressful moment in everything. Will things go as the way that you wanted them to go? Not necessarily. Did I have to put myself in situations that would make me really, really stressed out? No, because one of the things is, which is really interesting, is I don't like to be in crowds where I have to interact with people. So like if people say, do you want to go shopping? I can go shopping, that's really fine. People say, do you want to go to this big concert? No, I really don't, because I'm interacting with lots of people at the big concerts. Don't like that. However, if I'm just going through the, mall, do people still go to malls? I don't know. If I'm going through the store or something like that, I'm not really interacting with all that many people. And I'm okay with that. I can sit back and put on holiday music, was what I did while I was reading my book, which was really good and sort of relaxing and yeah, hey, I think I hit almost every single thing which these places, which these sites said that we need to do. I stepped back, I relaxed, I talked to people, I put myself in more of a comfortable situation. I gave myself the ability to say no to things. And I let it go. I acknowledge the fact that, it was stressful. I was having panic attacks. Well, alright, so panic attacks isn't the exact word, but I had vast anxiety about this. And then I said, what can I do? What things will make it alright? And that's how this video came up. Because I had to acknowledge what I could and couldn't do, and this is part of it. I couldn't make the video that I wanted. I now have the cookie cutters that I can make the video that I want, and I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to do that simply because there's not enough time. We'll see. We'll see how next week goes. But that's okay. If I can't make it this year, I can make it next year. Let me know what you want to see happen. But it's okay to have these moments as long as you realize that they are moments. Talk to people. Put yourself in a position that you can say no to it. Put yourself in a position where you can decompress. Whatever you need to do. Read a book, take a bubble bath, listen to happy music. Whatever it is that makes you feel okay. and hopefully it'll be good. This is what worked for me, but I'd like to hear what worked for you. What gives you the ability to take care of these stressful situations? Let me know down in the comments. I'd like to take this time to really thank these wonderful people who help support this channel, because without them, I don't know what I would have done this week, because with them I knew that things would pull through. So if you'd like to become one of those people who helps support this channel, keeps this channel going, keeps me from having major anxiety attacks, feel free to join Patreon. There is a link in the description and there's a card up here. Also, if you'd like to instead become a channel member, that also keeps me from having major anxiety attacks, because having money coming in, money isn't everything, but it does help. It does make things different. But if you can't do that or don't feel like doing that, do you know that just by sharing and liking this video, that really helps support this channel and helps make sure that the YouTube algorithms know that, hey, we should do more of these videos and that sort of thing. We should show more people this. Well, let me know down in the comments what you thought about that, and I hope I get to see you again the next time you stop by.